Oh. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वर्षिष्ठान्ते वसद्ऋषिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषण्णं सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात् त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवं जननमरणदुःखच्छेददक्षं नमामि। चित्रं वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्नसंशयः निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। चिद्घनाय महेशाय वटमूलनिवासिने सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेव द्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः। इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। Vishwam, so the entire world, Vishwam is similar to Tulyam, Vishwam Darpana Ananagari, Tulyam, like Tulyam, similar to what? To the Nagari, the city, and which is being seen in a mirror. And this has been shown as, and where is this mirror? Just like we see it in the mirror outside, it is seen in the mirror within oneself. And yas sakshat kurute prabodha samaye swatmanam evadvayam tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye namaha tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye namadam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. See, yesterday, you remember what we did in the last class? What was the contemplation? Tell someone. What did we talk about? Forgotten. Mind is empty. Very good. We are talking, the main topic was electricity other than the equipment through which it is expressing, isn't it? And that we compare to the consciousness that we are. We think we are the equipment. I am the body, I am the mind, I am the breath, I am the intellect, isn't it? But these are only electricity does not move anywhere. Fan moves. Electricity is continuously the same. Same way, consciousness is also continuously the same. It is the equipment which is moving. And we told you 4 or 5 points how to see the quality or attribute or disposition of the Atma versus the equipment. Equipment, another word for it is anatma. Anatma means that which is not of the nature of Atma. Fan is not of the nature of electricity. Through the equipment, through the fan, electricity is functioning. Through all the fans and all the instruments, the electricity is functioning. But electricity is independent of all the equipments. It is not bound by any equipment. It is not contained in any equipment. It cannot be conditioned by any equipment. It cannot be limited by any equipment. But no equipment can function without the electricity. Clear? This is exactly how this equipment is also working. And that electricity, yes, we are talking about many equipments, but electricity is one. Exactly the same way, first we come to recognize that this consciousness that I am is other than the equipment. It's only understanding required. Nothing has to be done. If you start trying to work out, oh, I think I have to be in meditation to work this out. Oh, I have to stop doing everything to realize this. Oh, I have to stop all imagination. No, everything can continue, but you click out. You just recognize, you just understand that who you are is not the words, who you are is not the body, who you are as consciousness is not the senses, who you are as the consciousness is not the thoughts, who you are as consciousness is not the intellect, is not the reflection, nothing. You are the independent. You are self-existing. Okay? Can there be a relationship between oil and water? Can there be a relationship between oil and water? Can they mix together? Never. Exactly the same way. Can the Atma, the consciousness that I am, and the Anatma, the equipment that I think I am, can they mix together? Not possible. But yet, it seems that it is together. Yet it seems that it is functioning. I am here, you are there, and we can see that there is consciousness expressing through this body. See, all this is going to be dissolved in this verse. What is the status? So first was to recognize that you are the consciousness. Now, what is this consciousness? Where is this consciousness? Is it one? We already understood that electricity is continuous, it's everywhere, it is separate from the equipment. Now leave that example there. See? Leave that example. Because Vishwam Darpana, now you will not see the Darpana in the electricity and the fan, you can't see the mirror. Now we come to this point here. So we have to correctly ascertain what is the nature of this Atma. And that Atma is not an idea, So once you have come to understand, see, first stage is what? I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, I am this. We came to know that. Now what is the next stage? Pardon me? Oh, if you say I am not this, then whatever you are saying I am not is still getting a validity. Careful. It's good. He is going in there. But now we are going further than that. If I say I am not this, I am still giving the validity to what I am not. So that will mean you are still witnessing. We are going beyond that. How long can you go away if you say I am not this? How long can you stay away from what you are not? Maybe 6, 7, 8 hours when you go to sleep. Maybe for a few hours in meditation when you are in samadhi. But afterwards, the body will come, hunger will come, world will come. Now, so what is the status of this world? What is the status of this body? See, how do we interact with the world? If you have noticed, this we have taken many times, but there it is right time to bring that point, and that is, this is a laptop. I know this is a laptop. I am not the laptop. This is your knowledge. This is Colin. I know this is Colin. I am not Colin. This is the world. I know this is the world. I am not the world. Correct? Whatever you are objectively seeing, what are you concluding? That you are not that. The rule must apply everywhere. For everything in this world, you are applying that rule, isn't it? This is the wall. I know this is the wall. I am not the wall. This is the breath, or this is the air. This is the sun. This is the moon. I know this is sun, moon, air, everything. I am not the sun, moon, and air. When we come to the body, what is your first statement? This is the body. Second statement, I know this is the body. Third statement, what should it be? What is the third statement? No, third statement should be, I am not the body. If the rule was for everything in this world, you use the rule. This is the world, I am not the world. I know the world and I am not the world. For everything that you knew, you came to this conclusion. But when you come to the body, this is the body. I know this is the body and I am the body. But this body is also part of the world. What is world? Which you are seeing objectively. Correct? Why did this equation suddenly flip around? The last statement, why did we not remain detached or unidentified from the intellect? Some issue there, isn't it? Something wrong is happening. Some misunderstanding is taking place. It's selective. I am only this body. See? So this body is also part of this world. So what is the status of the world is being told in this particular verse. See? So what is the status of the world? You do the meditation of first day. Sit quietly, relax, watch the body, I am not the body. Relax the breath, I am not the breath. And as you are listening to me, let the mind relax in this particular verse and allow the understanding to take place. That's all. And that understanding will be contrary to everything that you have understood till today about life. We are so much invested in family, in the world, in the memories, in the children, in the parents, in the relationships. We are given that the status of reality. Why we are given it the status of reality? Because I have given the status of reality to this body. I am the body. But that itself is a wrong conclusion, because we just now saw that the assessment of the world was, I am not the world, and body is part of the world, and I assessed it as I am the body. So somewhere, and where the moment I say I am the body, we immediately start creating the connections that my wife is real, my husband is real, my children are real, my parents are real, my house is real, my past is real, my future is real, my security is real, my space is real. See, and we get caught up and we become crystallized. See, so here we are taking the Vishwa is the entire world, and we take it as the way we have just explained it. So understand that a relationship cannot be of one with one. For relation, what is required? Two is required, isn't it? Two things have to be there to have a relationship. Otherwise, it is not possible. And this relationship of Atma and Anatma, first we have come to know, first we ascertained what the Atma was, and once we accept that we are the Atma, if we keep thinking, I am the husband, then the only thing valid is wife. If I think I am a man, then only thing valid is I will give attention to is the woman. If I think I'm parent, then the only thing I'll give validity to is the children. I'm invested in that. So first thing, what we, from last class till now, what are we invested in? Have we come to understand that we are the Atma, that we are the consciousness, that we are the continuous one, that we are other than the equipment? First asserted, this is the neti by which we came to, that I am not this, what you were saying, which we were saying yesterday through those electricity and equipment example. We must become clear that we are the Atma, we are the pure consciousness. If we are accepting that we are the consciousness, then the next question will be, just like if I am the husband, then automatically the thoughts of wife will come. If I am Atma, then automatically, because this is still at the understanding level, then I'll say, what is the status of Anatma then? What is the status of that which is other than the consciousness? But if I am a husband or a wife or a brother or a sister or a parent, will I think of Anatma? I cannot. Anatma as a principle I cannot understand, because I have not even taken the position of the Atma. I have not even understood what Atma is. I am just repeating from the books, Satta Chitta Ananda hu main, Atma Ananda hu main. That does not mean anything if you don't understand what that word is signifying. See? So once we accept that we are the consciousness, our essence is the consciousness, and this consciousness is all pervasive, and this consciousness is other than the equipment, and this consciousness is not attached to the equipment, that this consciousness is as if expressing through the equipment. In its presence, the equipment functions. If the equipment is there or not there, consciousness continues to be. And I call consciousness as consciousness only with reference to the equipment. Correct? Can I know electricity if there is no fan? Can I know electricity if there is no fan? No. Because if there is no equipment, if there was no equipment before through which electricity could express, the word electricity itself was not there. It was formless. So I came to know electricity only because I experienced its expression through the equipment, isn't it? Therefore, I am able to take this example. But if there is no equipment, anatma, not self. If there is no not self through which the consciousness is expressing, can I come to know consciousness? Can I think of consciousness? See. So where is this dialogue taking place? In the mind. But do you feel that I cannot? So here, this is the point. We are talking about objectivity here. As long as we are thinking about it, thinking is possible because there is aham and idam, because there is atma, anatma, only because of its expression, only because of its relationship with the atma, with reference to the anatma, we are able to ascertain the existence of atma. Is that the case? Generally, it seems to be that way. Generally, it seems to be that way. And this dialogue is taking place where? Is this dialogue taking place now? We are coming back. This discussion which is going on, this satsang where it is going on, you are listening, I am talking, this whole world is happening. Now, what is the status of this anatma? You are saying that the atma is all pervasive. In the world you are saying. But you only said, yato vacho nivartante, word cannot reveal the truth. So what is the status of this world? Where is it? How is it? How is it existing? And in this way, we come to the first verse. With this background, we come to this first verse where the Atma Anatma Vivek is going to be taken and dwelled into. The first part of this verse, Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijantargatam Pashyannatmani Mayaya Bahirivod Bhutam Yatha Nidraya. This is the first set. Take this as separate and take the second as separate. If you keep mixing it together, it will not work out. So what is the first part? The first part is Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari. So here the example is taken. Look at one example, and that example is of the mirror. And in the mirror, the whole world is getting reflected. In that you can see the space, air, fire, water, earth, people, movement, breathing, emotions you can feel, people, bodies you can see, senses you can see. Everything is getting reflected. Correct? The whole world is getting reflected. Now, very important point. When we take this example, our question here is not to ascertain what is getting reflected. If we want to understand this example, Vishwa Darpana Drishyamana Nagari, we have to take, where is it reflecting? On the mirror. Is it in the mirror or on the mirror? On the mirror, not in the mirror. There is no in the mirror. There is no depth. On the mirror. And the entire world, with all its depth that you can see in the physical sense, that is getting reflected in the mirror. Now when we are inquiring into this Vishwa Darpana Vishwamana Nagari. So we leave that again, we come to the mirror and the reflection. What is the status? Just like we analyzed the electricity and the fan, and through that we came to assess that I am the consciousness and body and breath and mind and etc. is the equipment and I am not the equipment. Now let's see. What is the status of the Vishwa Darpanamana Nagari? What is the status of the Nagari, the city, which is reflecting in the mirror? What is its status? It is fake. Yes, it is fake, no doubt. It is absolutely. We are not talking about it. But again, your attention when you say it is fake is going to yourself. Then tell me what is real there. If the reflection is fake, what is real? I told you, you keep the one who is reflected, you leave it away. We are taking only the mirror and the reflection. Otherwise, you will not understand the example. So, what is real there? Say again. Mirror is the real. Mirror is the unchanging principle. Mirror surface is always the same. Mirror is supporting all the forms. Gross, subtle, causal. You can see people reflected who are awake. You can see people reflected who are dreaming. You can see people who are sleeping. All three. You can see the space, air, fire, water, earth in the mirror, isn't it? All the, whatever is reflected is changing. Is mirror changing? No. The reflections are changing. The reflections are coming and going. Is the mirror coming and going? No.
So space is same.
That
means space is same.
कैसे?
जैसे आत्मन और जो भी प्रकृति है या जो भी वो है वो सब स्पेस में हो रहा है. Space is like a mirror.
No. No. Space is not the mirror. Here our goal is, space is inert. Space is an aspect of the creation. Space is one part, एक कड़ी है, one part of the anatma. And what is that anatma? Just in a general sense, it is space, air, fire, water, earth. So it's part of the world. Correct? So just stay, rather than go into that, just first understand the relationship between, like we understood the relationship between the electricity and the fan, we understood the relationship between the equipment and the consciousness that we are. Now you leave that consciousness away, you leave that electricity away, you leave yourself away. You just take this example that there is a mirror and reflection. And we are trying to determine what is the relationship between the mirror and the reflection. You can see the depth of hundreds of kilometers in the reflection. Correct? How deep is the mirror? Few millimeters. But in that you can see the depth. You can see movement in the mirror, in the reflection. But is the mirror moving? No. So you can see many things in the mirror, but on the mirror itself is not going through any change, even though it is supporting all the change. Correct? The mirror is supporting all the change, but itself is not going through any change.
Assuming that mirror is always pure, clean. Assuming that the mirror is always pure and clean.
Don't go into that. Even if it is not pure or not clean, still it does not matter. Whatever, even if it is half clean and half dirty, or if there are few dots here and there, the reflection, whatever is reflecting still is seen, no? Just look, we are not talking about clean mirror or bad mirror, we are just talking about mirror. The cleaner the mirror, better the reflection. So I'm not asking about talking about clean mirror or bad mirror. I'm not talking about partial reflection or full reflection. I'm just talking about the principle of mirror, and wherever there is a mirror, there is a reflection. And I am trying to, Shankaracharya here, not I am, Shankaracharya is trying to establish the status, the relationship between the mirror and the reflection. So don't digress into other things. So there are few words there, and what are they? Let's see. The first is that this is coming from, there is on this the Dakshinamurti Stotram, there is an exhaustive commentary written by Sureshwaracharya. Sureshwaracharya was the first Shankaracharya of Sringeri, and he was originally a Buddhist. And Shankaracharya, you must have heard of this, he debated with him, and he asked him, I want to discuss with you. At that time, no fighting, only debating. Actually, he went, Mandan Mishra's teacher, Kumarila Bhatt, he wanted to have discussion with him. By the time Shankaracharya, 16, 17, 18 years old, he reached Varanasi, Kumarila Bhatt, he breathed his last and he said, go to my disciple. So he went to Mandan Mishra. Mandan Mishra was married. He was practicing the Tantra, Mantra and all that. And he said, okay, because he was the master of those times. After Kumarila Bhatt, he was the only one. And he said, okay, but who will judge that you are good, you won or I won? His wife's name was Saraswati. She was also equally adept at discussions and studied in scriptures, whatever they had studied. So Shankaracharya was so confident that he said, let your wife be the judge. So she's sitting there. Now she has to be even, her name is Saraswati. That time people used to live up to their name. Today we don't. So she's Saraswati. And being a judge, she was even extra alert not to take his side, husband's side, or not to discriminate between with Shankaracharya ji. And the debate continued. And eventually she declared that her husband means there it is not husband, it is the debater, that Mandan Mishra, he stands defeated. And the condition was whoever gets defeated, he will take discipleship of the other. So he took discipleship he got initiated by Shankaracharya, and he took sannyas straight away. And he was one of the 4 disciples of Shankaracharya, and that Mandan Mishra was known as Sureshwaracharya, and he was given the responsibility of Sringeri Peeth. He was the first Acharya of the Sringeri Peeth. And he wrote the commentary on this Dakshinamurti Stotram, and it is called Manollasa. Ullasa, joy. Mana, mind. Manollasa. If you want to contemplate, contemplate in this manner. Vishwam, when you are chanting itself, you feel elated, isn't it? And he has then, imagine, he has written a commentary on this, and there is someone else, I can't remember their name. They have taken the commentary in Sanskrit by Sureshwaracharya and given a commentary on that again. And that is called Kartika. And it becomes, I have the book here. I did. And, but here it's not in Sanskrit, it's only the English translation. See, when we studied in the ashram, Swamiji took the Sanskrit. And from Sanskrit, then I got all the notes. I'm afraid to take them out in the sense we will, from the first line, we will not move ahead. So, if I take out, the first verse itself will take 5, 6, 7 pages. And each line, now like Swamiji has taken one Sanskrit verse there and whatever he has written, few pages of it and made it into, I have written down 6 pages. Now if I take one line of what Swamiji has said, it will become another 5, 6 pages, so many minutes or hours of contemplation. It's fun as long as you don't deviate from the topic. And why we go into that depth, why? So that it's a continuous play going on here. Mind is sometimes wanting to go here, sometimes wanting to go there, sometimes it remembers something else. We have to stay with the point. What is the point? What is the status of the mirror and what is the status of the reflection?
I have an idea. There is nothing in the mirror if I can't see it.
Again, you have come to I. I am not coming to the I. See how quickly we get.
Witness,
No, I'm not. We are not. The topic at this moment, forget the whole verse. Our topic, this is now my job as a teacher. My job is to keep bringing you back again and again, not to the I, not to the consciousness, not to the Atma, not to the Anatma. I want you to delete all that you have heard till now and just remain alert about these two things, mirror and reflection in the mirror. We are only going to talk about that. If you bring Atma and all that, it will get complicated. You will go in circles. You will never understand what is taking place. Understand? That's why it's good. You are going in the right direction, but we don't need that right now. Because otherwise we will not understand the example. So first point about mirror and the reflection. Mirror is the foundation, and on that foundation of the mirror, the reflection is taking place, correct? It is the adhishthan vastu. This is the first point. The mirror is not changing, the reflection is changing. Adhishthan is what? Substratum is what? That which is the foundation, that which is the continuous, that which does not go through any changes, that which is not. Okay, let's just understand it. That is the basis. If there is no mirror, can there be reflection? No. Understand? If there is no mirror, can there be reflection? No. If there is no husband, can there be wife? No, the other way I should say. If there is no wife, can there be husband? If there is no Prakriti, can there be Ishvara? Correct? Then what is there? If there is no Prakriti, if Ishvara is not there, then what there? We are not going to go into that. Probably you know the answer. If you not, we will come, by end of this verse, you will come to know. So, if the mirror is not there, the reflection is not. मेरी गर्दन की वाट लगने वाली है. If the mirror is not there, reflection is not possible. This mirror is called the Adhishthan Vastu. This mirror is the support of this entire city, the reflected city. And we have to keep reminding this again and again so that we don't digress from this point, that mirror is the support of the entire reflection. In that reflection, you are seeing the space, you are seeing the time, you are seeing the objects. Correct? Be very clear about this first point. This is the first relationship, first understanding about what is taking place there. The mirror is the supporter, the reflection is the supported. Remember, yesterday we saw negator and the negated. Now we are come to supporter and the supported. Mirror, can the reflection support the mirror? Not possible. Inverse is not possible. Mirror is the supporter and reflection is the supported. And in this way, the next point, within that point, as the Adhishthan and the reflection, no part of the reflection is apart, separate from the mirror. No street, no house, no person, no space, air, fire, water, earth, whatever. Time, in simple words, the space that you see reflected in the mirror, the time that you see, because things are moving, time is passing by, sunset, sunrise, and all objectivity that is seen, the street, the water, the trees, the fruits, everything, it is not apart from the mirror. Clear? Just stay. Don't apply it anywhere else. Just stay with this. If you understand this example clearly, distinctly, then it will be easy the second part. The next two lines. The third and the fourth line. So, none of this reflection, none of the depth, space, time, objectivity exists outside the mirror. It exists, reflection we are talking about, it exists only in the mirror or on the mirror. Correct? Therefore, this mirror is the supporter, this mirror is the substratum, this mirror is the basis. Now we come to the second point. What is the second point? That no object, be very alert, no object in this reflection has an independent status. It is not existing by itself. Let it sink. No aspect of the reflection, no form, no time, no space, no object, no trees, no fruits, no streets, no waterfalls, no rivers, whatever is getting reflected, the entire, here the simple word is taken, Nagari, the city. That city is with building, people, streets, rivulets, bushes, everything. The beauty of the city and the ugliness of the city, everything is getting reflected there. So it's the city. It doesn't have an independent existence. If the mirror is not there, can the reflection exist? So is it dependent? Totally dependent, correct? So this is the second point, that the status of the reflection of the city that we see in the mirror, and I'm changing the wordings, that the status of the city, Nagari, in the mirror is only a reflection. Pratibimba. Pratibimba is reflection. We are not going into reflection of what? We are not going into that. Because our attention is on the mirror and the reflection. So, the status of the city in the mirror is that it is only a pratibimba, it is only a reflection. Clear? Still few more points. You will next time you stand in front of the mirror to shave or to make, you will not move from there. All these 5-6 points which I am going to tell you, or which in Manolas that comes, all them, if you listen to it and are available to it, they'll go, वहीं पे खड़े रहो, समाधि लग जाएगी खड़े खड़े. So the status of the city in the mirror is that of a reflection. None of the aspects of the reflection have their own independent existence, and all of them, when I'm watching the mirror, all of them, I see them in the mirror. Okay? And none of them have their own existence. And how has the reflection, this is a mic, is means it is existing. How is the reflection existing? I'm asking. How is the mirror reflection existing? How is that Nagari? How is it existing? It is existing
because of the mirror.
It is existing because of the mirror. Independent of the mirror, the reflection has got no validity. Correct? Independent of the mirror, the reflection has got no validity. Now don't keep flipping into, but the reflection is of the real city. No, we are not going into the real city. We are discussing here the mirror and the reflection. Okay? It has got no validity. And with reference to the reflection has got no existence of its own. The mirror is existing of its own accord. It doesn't. Now don't go into mirror is made from sand and mica and this and that. No, don't go into that. We are not going to, don't digress into that part. So mirror is self-existing, reflection is dependent existence. Correct? The existence of the reflection is borrowed from the mirror. The existence of the mirror is not borrowed from the reflection. ठीक है ना? अभी इसी के साथ रहना, नहीं तो husband's existence is borrowed from the wife. उसमें चले जाओगे, उसमें I don't go in that direction. Just understand this principle and then you can apply it. You can apply it anywhere, but if you have really stayed with it, you will just fall back into yourself. You will just fall back. It will just click. It will be ever clicked. What will be ever, we'll see. So it is not borrowed from the reflection. Whether the reflection is there or not, whether the Pratibimba Nagari, whether the reflected city is there or not, mirror is not affected. Correct? See, Shankaracharya is taking a step by step. whether the reflection is there or not, mirror is not affected. It remains the mirror only. Huh? But the reflection, if the mirror is not there, can the reflection exist? Not. So, reflection's existence is dependent on the mirror, and mirror is having an independent, swatantra. It is swatantra, it is independent. It is self-existing. It is not dependent on the reflection. Whereas reflection is dependent on the mirror. ठीक है, ये हो गया second point. The next is, I can touch the mirror. It is solid, I can see, I can touch, I can feel. Can I touch the reflected city? I can't. Oh my God. ये तो कभी सोचा ही नहीं था. So I can, mirror is existing independently, reflection is existing not independently, it is dependent. Mirror is Sat Vastu, it is there, I can interact with it, but with the reflection, I cannot touch it, I cannot touch the trees, I cannot walk on the streets, I cannot climb the tree, or I cannot go and live in the building in the reflection. Understand? This is another point. Then, so therefore, if mirror is not changing, mirror is continuous, mirror is existing, it is independent, and exactly the opposite nature is of the reflection. Therefore, we can say that, just in that example, mirror is the truth, independent truth, and reflection is untruth. Reflection is mithya. Mithya means what? Like the mirage. It appears, but actually it is not there. Mirage appears, but I can't drink the water. Here I am seeing the reflection, but I cannot interact with anyone in the mirror. As I was explaining before. So, mirror is the truth, Satya Vastu, the constant existence with reference to the reflection. Reflection is not constant. It is not independent, it is dependent. And in this way, so we saw that first the mirror was the foundation, it was the substratum of the reflection. And secondly, we are seeing that the mirror is the truth, mirror is the existence, and the reflection is the non-existence, it is the mithya, because of the nature of mithya is dependence. Under certain conditions it expresses. It cannot exist independently. Now we come to the third point. My God, how many more? You have to remember, you keep, do whatever you want. Why should I say what you should do? The next thing that we have to discern here is that whatever happens in the mirror, whatever happens in the reflected street, whatever happens in the reflected breeze, whatever happens in the reflected tree, we see the fruit falling or the breeze blowing or the leaves stirred up by the breeze, people walking on the streets, etc. Whatever happens in the reflection, it does not affect the mirror. Third point. So whatever activity is taking place because city is getting reflected. There is a reflection, you can see it. Okay, I made a mistake here. What did I say? The city is getting reflected. Our goal is, focus should not be on what is getting reflected. Our focus should be on the mirror and the reflection. So when we are looking at the reflection, we see there is movement, we see there is people talking, we see there all things are going on. And with whatever activity is going on, we just put it one word, activity, movement, the mirror does not become active. Understand? Because a person is moving, the mirror starts moving. बेवकूफ़ी है ना? अब वही बेवकूफ़ी अपने में चल रही है. शरीर चल रहा है, मैं चल रहा हूँ. सच है? हाँ. तो अभी हम इसी पे अटके रहेंगे. Sorry, I said it in Hindi. What I said was, but this is the mistake we are making. The body is moving and we say, I am moving. Eyes are seeing and we say, I am seeing. If mirror starts saying, if the person is moving, the mirror starts moving, it will be a problem. Isn't it? So if we see fire in the mirror, we don't see the mirror getting burnt. If we see water in the mirror, we don't see the mirror getting wet. If we see a murder in the mirror, we don't see the blood on the mirror. The mirror doesn't start bleeding, isn't it? And in this manner, the mirror, so all things are happening. What is that? Excuse me. But the mirror is untouched. The word untouched, unattached to whatever is going on in the reflection, it is called Asangatwam. So first one was what? Substratum, Adhishthanatvam. Second was what? Truth. No, second was truth. Existence. The mirror was existing. Reflection was not existing. It is only a reflection. It's mithya. So it was Satyatvam. Mirror is true. Solid is mirror. Reflection is not solid. And third is Asangatwam. Asangatwam means the mirror is not attached to the reflection. It's not, because whatever activity is taking place in the mirror, in the reflection, mirror doesn't get affected by it. Which means it is unclutched from the reflection. It is not affected by the reflection. And if that reflection, if you start thinking of reflection, as we said before, what is that reflection? Reflection of the whole city. What is the city made up of? Space, air, fire, water, earth, building, trees, rivers, roads, people, day, night, sunrise, sunset. So many things are there. So many aspects to the reflection, isn't it? To the Nagari. That we perceive in the mirror. But mirror is unattached, uninfluenced, uncorrupted by the reflection. This is the third point. So this is our approach to the mirror. We are looking at the mirror, we are seeing the reflection in the mirror, and what do we see? That the mirror does not get affected by the reflection. And therefore it is, this unaffectedness of the mirror is called Asangatwam. Sanga is togetherness. Asanga is separatedness. But separatedness will mean two. But Asanga is not attached. It seems to be attached because without him, without the mirror, reflection cannot happen. So they must be attached, but there is no attachment there. Why? Because the mirror is not getting affected. If the reflection is crying, the mirror doesn't cry. If the fire is there, the mirror is not on fire. It doesn't get hot. Yeah.
It's Asangatwam. It's related to Akartatwam, actionless. No action, the mirror.
Good. So where is the action? Where is the movement? In the reflection. In the mirror, there is no activity. Akaratvam. Correct. So Asangatwam. So we are coming to the principle. Mirror, in the reflection also, there is nobody is doing. It is happening. The change is happening in the mirror. You are observing the mirror. And when you see the reflection, I see the reflection in the camera. The mouth is speaking, the hand is moving, the hand goes and again, the words are coming out. But the screen, because I do this, the screen says, hey, don't do that to me. Does it say? No. Is the screen of the phone affected by the reflection of by the reflection? No. Can the mirror hear the speech which is reflecting? No. The blink of the eyes, the mirror blinks? No. Mirror is the screen is not doing anything. It is just being the screen. So there is no doing taking place in the screen, by the screen. But in this reflection, all the doing is taking place, all the movement is taking place, all the creation is taking place. It is seen, I am seeing it here in the reflection that the hands are coming there. I'm not talking about this person, I'm talking about the image, reflection there. We have to stay with the surface and the surface of the mirror, or the mirror and the reflection. Okay? So all changes are happening in the pratibimba, in the reflection. There is no change on the surface of the mirror. This is the third point. Now, in the fourth, and all the reflected objects in the mirror are mithya. They are existing in their own absence. They have got no status. They have got no reality. They have got no reality. They are mithya. And therefore, and because they are, as we said, because they are mithya, they have got no existence. Yet they are seen. Mirage is seen, but it has got no existence. Sunset is seen, sunrise is seen. How we keep capturing the pictures of sunrise and sunset. But it is mithya. Sun doesn't rise, the sun doesn't set. See what we are carried away by. We are carried away by mithya. See? So understand the status of the reflection. It is mithya, it is non-existence, because what is true and what is existing? Mirror. Reflection is not existing. Reflection is not true. So you cannot, when you talk of mirror, you cannot talk of the reflection. When you are talking of mirror, you don't have to talk about reflection, because mirror is existing in its own right. Mirror is not because of reflection, and mirror is not because of there is no reflection. Understand? It is independently existing. This we established earlier. And so, within this point, if you see the reflection, of the city, and and you count all the objects in the reflected city. Are they equal to the mirror? How much can you see reflected? Infinite. So if I'm between two mirrors, I'll see infinite. Can I count all the reflections of myself and say, this is who I am? No. Similarly, can I count all the objects in the reflection and say, this is the mirror? Or even this is the surface of the mirror? I can't. Infinite number of finite objects in the reflection is not equal to the mirror. ठीक है? ठीक है? Fourth point है ये. Infinite number of finite objects in the reflection are not equal to the mirror. और उसमें क्या आ गया? इनफाइनाइट स्पेस आ गया, इनफाइनाइट एयर आ गया, इनफाइनाइट डेप्थ आ गया, इनफाइनाइट टाइम आ गया, इनफाइनाइट ऑब्जेक्ट्स आर देयर, बट ऑल ऑफ देम पुट टुगेदर इज नॉट इक्वल टू द, कैन नेवर बी इक्वल टू द मिरर. So this way, and therefore objects are separate to each other in the reflection. Separation means differences. Differences means Dvaitam, duality. In the reflection you see duality. Each thing is separate to each other. But is the surface of the mirror dual? Or it is one without a second? ठीक है? It is one without a second. But without that one without a second, reflection cannot take place. That one without a second mirror, Advaitam, Adhishtanatvam, Satyatvam, Asangatwam, Advaita Tattvam. So this Advaitam or Advaita Tattvam, without it, duality, differences, reflection, with all its connotations, all its infinite finitenesses, it is supporting, but it is not getting corrupted. Its oneness is not getting corrupted. Yeah? Let it sink. And therefore, so these are the features of the mirror, what we just narrated. What is the first one? Adhishtanatvam, the substratum, foundation. Second was Satyatvam. What is that? The truth, the reality, the existence. Mirror exists, reflection is non-existent. Third was Asangatwam. Asangatwam means the mirror is unattached to the reflection. The mirror is unattached to whatever is being reflected. The mirror is unattached to whatever, the fire, water, this, that, etc., etc. And the fourth one is Advaitam, that mirror is one without a second surface, without undergoing any change. It supports all the change. And where is the change taking place? Mithya. It's as if it has got no existence. Clear? This is the commentary on the first line. First two words. We are not even entered into the second part. Vishwam Darpana. Vishwam, world, Darpana, mirror. So, this is And and take another example now. So he wants to bring, Shankaracharya wants us to understand that the mirror is all these adhishthanatvam, satyatvam, asangatvam, advaitatatvam. Now he gives, but he is not satisfied. He knows the students will again start thinking who is reflecting this, that. He wants to hold you. He wants to make it subjective. So what is the next part? He brings the second example. He said, Swapna Nagari. So he brings the example of the world in the dream. That example he brings. And now he will relate the two. Now he'll relate the two. So what does he say? That when we come to when we are in the dream, when there is dream going on, what is there happening? There it is like the mirror and the reflection in the mirror. Now, that example you understood as the mirror and the reflection. Now you understand that subjectively. We are not going to the ultimate subject, we are taking one aspect of ourselves, which is dream. Because we are waker, dreamer and sleeper, no? So, we think waking is real, dream is unreal. So, we are taking that aspect of that dreamer of ours who is dreaming. So, he is saying here that you take the dream as the mirror and the reflection, and there is the dream world, and where is the whole dream world taking place? Where is the whole dream world taking place? It is, do you need to sleep to dream? That gives the answer. Do you need to sleep to dream?
We are dreaming.
Not necessarily.
He said we are dreaming. So what is the adhishthan? The waker is the basis. Who says I was dreaming? Who says I was sleeping? Waker only sleep. Here we say, no? Correct? Just take it as that example. Because after you wake up, you are the waker. For one moment I am eyes closed, suddenly I start imagining cats, dogs. I have to go to India, I have to go to Fiji, in the jungle, have a retreat. And then go and take dip in the ocean, have a retreat there also. And suddenly, who was the unchanging one? The waker. And within the mind of the waker, the dream took place. There, the dream person was there and the dream world was there. And that game was going on. And then you wake up. Where do you find yourself? Back to the waker. Correct? So this is what he is telling, that the substratum for the dreamer here in this commentary, you must have heard, the substratum or waker, dreamer, sleeper is the conscious self. So we are taking one step before that. Because sadhana can be done, contemplation can be done, meditation can be done, Vedanta can be studied only in the waking. It cannot be done in the Atma, as the Atma, correct? It can be done only in the waking. Waking is the sattvic state. Waking is the wakeful state. So now let's, I don't want to go into too much of that, but just understand this, that the waker is the basis, and for the waker, the dream comes, and the dream world is there. So here, where is the whole dream resting? On the waker. And the mind in which the dream were existing, was appearing, not existing, appearing. Was that mind other than the waker mind? It's the same mind. It is not some different mind. It's the same mind where the reflection is taking place. So we are not addressing here the waking world. We are only looking at the dream world. It is happening in the mind of the waker. So this reflection of, excuse me, this reflection is taking place in the mind, and so what is the relationship between the waker and the world of the dream? What is the relationship between these two? Shankaracharya says that it has 4 features. And what are they? That again, just as what was the relationship between the mirror and the reflection? Adhishthanattvam, satyatvam, asangatwam, advaitatvam. What is the relationship between me, the waker, and the dream world? What is the status? That I, just in that example, don't go to self and all that, okay? That self, the waker is the adhishthanattvam, the waker is the satyatvam, the waker is the asangatvam, the waker is the advaitatvam. And what is the dream world? Exactly the opposite. It is mithyatvam, it is goingatvam, it is non-existingatvam. So, dvayam. So, exactly the opposite nature. Just like what was the status of the reflection in the mirror, that is the status of the dream. Correct? And with respect to the dream, with reference to that dream, the mirror was the constant. Who is the constant here? The waker. In a daytime, I can dream many times and come back. I continue to be the waker. And what is your, in general, whom do you take to be the reality? You don't take the sleeper to be the continuous one. You don't take dreamer to be the continuous one. You take the waker to be the continuous one, no? You have invested fully, whole-soully in the waker only. So it is talking about your experience. It's not taking you outside your experience. So waker is the. Then what happens? So here in this example, I am the adhishthanattvam, I am the support, and the dream is the supported. And what is this dream? This dream is of the entire dream world. And in that dream world, there is dream time, there is dream space, there is dream universe, there is dream, galaxies, there is dream solar, sun and the moon, there is dream day and night, there is dream sunrise and sunset, there is dream relationships, there is dream activity. So many, everything is in the dream, isn't it? Just like in the reflection, everything was going on. Tell me, is the waker affected by all that activity in the dream? The moment you are the waker, the moment you take yourself to be your attention is not on the dream. And even right now, the moment your attention is on the waker, the dream is the status of the dream is that of the phone. It's going to die. Is that, which is that all of them, which the whole dream, when you are experiencing it, it's experiencing The dreamer is experiencing the dream as a real. And the dream world is infinite. The time is moving slow or fast. Everything seems to be so real. Only till you wake up. Isn't it? And how much time does it take you to recognize, realize that it was just an illusion? Instantly. For some people, those who are intelligent, it takes longer. It takes longer. They keep delving. Such people don't get out of the bed immediately. And where is this whole dream? It was just a, what do we say? It was just a figment of imagination. It was just a, let it go. Unnecessarily I got scared in the dream. But the moment I come to the waking, I realize how foolish, we feel foolish with reference to whatever happened in the dream. So, how is the dream being supported to continue? That's the next question. How is the dream supported to be continued? Think about it for next 1 hour. Think about it. How is the dream supported? If you are the adhishthan, if you are the substratum and the dream is taking place, what is the condition in which the dream expresses itself, exists even though it is not there, makes an impact on you even though it is not there, and then you wake up. And then you wake up. Answer is very simple, but I'll let you. क्या करेंगे अपने बाल तोड़ो जाके. He is already pulling his leg, his hair. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.